Stablecoin technology is being looked at by the world's biggest companies as a way to protect their futures. Apple, X, Airbnb, check out what's going on with fixed coins in the US and around the world. Will some of these businesses choose to use Ripple? We're going to look at a lot of information about companies that are looking into stablecoin technology to help the growth continue through 2030, just like many banks and other institutions are. Let's start with this story because it says that Apple, X, Airbnb, and Google are thinking about accepting stablecoins as payment. This news comes from Fortune, or sources inside the magazine told Fortune that a number of the likes of Apple, Airbnb, and Google are looking into how to let people pay with safe coins. A month ago, the same magazine said that Meta was looking into digital currencies. This has been looked into by that for a while now. They have tried going into cryptocurrency before with Libra and a few other things that didn't work out, but we'll see what happens. Yesterday, Uber confirmed that it was putting money into the idea of stablecoin. I don't even think that's possible, as Uber CEO told Bloomberg. I do think stablecoins are quite promising, especially for global companies that are moving money around globally to make a way for us to cut down on costs. These companies are basically trying to cut costs so that they can either give the savings to you, the customer, or make more money. That's what they want to do, right? They want to pay your workers more or give more money to the CEOs and sweet suites. The story was about this video clip of the Uber CEO talking about stablecoins live on stage with Bloomberg. I know you are thinking about stablecoin as a way to pay for Nuna. Talk about what you're thinking about and how that could help your business. As I say, we're still in the study phase, but I think stablecoin is one of the most interesting ways to use crypto for something other than its historical value. People have different ideas about where Bitcoin is going, but I do think stablecoin has a lot of potential, especially for companies that move money around the world. It could help us cut costs. That's what he said. Some tests have shown that Google Cloud is interested in the two fortunes. From what I can tell, this is likely one of the biggest changes to payments since the SWIFT network 50 years ago, says the head of Web3 strategy at Google Cloud. The company is also looking into ways to integrate stablecoins, which is good news. He also said that he had taken a few payments in PayPal's PISD, which is another large safe coin, of which I had to go find the Ripple team put together a secret presentation for banks and other financial institutions that wanted to work with Ripple. What's interesting is that the sheet says Google. This is the sheet that mostly talks about Uber and Airbnb, which is kind of why this is funny and hilarious. You should watch the whole thing if you haven't already. I don't think these films came out, but Smoke did. Uber, Airbnb, and Airbnb all looked into it. They were all part of Ripple's original product idea for a single global payments interface. This was also put out by Anderson X. Yes, stablecoins can't be used because they have a host that acts as the other person. Another way to pay in 2023. This is what Ripple wrote to the Australian government. You need a neutral bridge asset for all of these different payment networks. If you don't have one, you will keep having these stores that can only be improved with stable coins. Getting different safe coin networks to work together has been the biggest problem. If you have PayPal, Zelle, or any of these other apps, they don't talk to or work with other apps. This means that when these different companies release their own fixed coins, they create siloed systems, which is already a problem. In the middle, you need an asset like XRP. It would be interesting to see if any of these companies actually talk to Circle or Ripple, because they will, due to the fact that many of these companies are based in the United States, they need answers that work for everyone. That's why I like to look at this. Anders X, while most people don't know this, stablecoins will not replace XRP for a reason. In a letter to the Australian government in 2023, Ripple shared important information. Here it is. Stablecoins have a creator and a counterparty, which means they can't be used in different payment networks. The people who made XRP and Ripple have kept the original version unchanged since the beginning, so XRP can be used as a link between different payment networks in the financial system. This is true whether you can settle a stock sale with XRP or use it to connect different assets. It's really cool to see everything come together. It looks like Hong Kong will start using stablecoins on August 1. This is happening at the same time as the US moving forward with its Genius Act stablecoin legislation. The Senate may vote on this bill next week. I can see that other places are also moving forward with their own stablecoin laws. Visa will also make it easier to use stablecoins. You can see that Visa's product roadmap starts to come out in 2025. It talks about digitizing identities and smart transactions. There are fixed coins, Visa Pay, Visa Accept, and a lot of blockchain apps. I've heard that term a lot. Deutsche Bank is also looking into stable coins and tokenizing deposits. It could make its own token or join an industry effort. There are close ties between Deutsche Bank, Ripple, and XRP. This is what one of Ripple's documents says: list of all the banks and businesses that are making stable coins or have already made them on the XRP system. There are a lot of them, so let's quickly go through them. The Europe stablecoin is for Europe, and it works with MICA. The French central bank lists Schumann Financial as the issuer of the Europe stablecoin. The funds are kept in large European banks like Societe Generale, which was audited by KPMG. This is what, you get what I mean, right? It was a little stressful because none of the big four auditing firms would look at you, even though one of them had looked at a brand new stablecoin that just came out. I find it funny that you have a stablecoin worth $150 billion, 0 cents, and no one can check to see if you really have that much money to back it up. These are real peg stablecoins from Brasa Group. They are tied to both the US dollar and the Brazilian real. The Brasa Group is a bank in Brazil that has put both dollar pegged and real pegged stablecoins on the XRP ledger. On the XRP system, there are also stablecoins called Zago that are tied to the British pound. The Aussie dollar, the South African rand, and the Nigerian naira are two of the currencies they use. This means that banks and other financial institutions want to use the XRP ledger to launch safe coins as well. In the next 10 to 15 days, or whenever a top company releases their own safe coin on the XRP ledger, some of them will choose Circle, but you can bet that businesses and banks are already looking at this. We also brought up ETF, which I think we should talk about quickly. Binance made a good video about how the XRP community will benefit a lot from ETF. I'm going to show you what will happen if we use ETF to bring in $1 billion USD, 100 billion or 1 billion. You said you've been with Binance for more than 3 years. I think institutional investors' tastes have changed in 2025, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This change probably started last year. From an establishment point of view, why crypto and why now? That's the big question that everyone wants to know.